Thank you, President. My question's for the Attorney-General. We've recently had a case under the Voluntary Assisted Dying legislation where a New Zealand woman who had been living in Victoria for 20 plus years, was a nurse here, was denied access to voluntary assisted dying. The reason given that she wasn't a permanent resident. Now, when we went back to look at the Act itself, there was no definition. When we went to look at the Act's Interpretation Act, there's no definition for permanent resident. So my question is there any other legislation in Victoria where a person born in New Zealand who had lived here for 20 years would not be considered a permanent resident?
General.
Thank you, President, and I thank Ms Patten for her question. It's a cracking question. I don't know the answer. I'm going to seek advice on that because I am aware of that case, and it did strike me as potentially unfair, but I do want to seek some further advice on that and come back to you.
Ms Patten on a supplementary.
Thank you, President, and thank you, Minister. And yeah, you and I were both on that inquiry, and I don't think that was ever the expectation of the committee or even of this House that we would exclude people like that. So, by way of supplementary, will you consider, I suppose, including a definition into the Act's Interpretation Act of permanent resident, so that we don't raise this issue isn't raised again?
Attorney General.
Thank you, President. And Ms Patten, I can't give any guarantees in relation to that because I guess what I'm worried about is Commonwealth laws and how they apply, because I think that the definition of permanent residency would certainly be a matter for federal government, not state government. But where it interacts with our laws, I think that this example has certainly shown us that we should seek some clarification. And just to inform you that specific case that was raised with you and also with myself is under consideration by the Department of Health.